Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Nandi. Welcome to the YouTube channel Ecstasy of Physics. I have come with another video of AP Physics 1 series. In this video, we'll be talking about the past papers multiple choice questions of energy. AP Physics 1 algebra based framework has 10 different units, among which energy is the fourth unit. The exam weighting of energy multiple choice questions is around 16 to 24%, so please consider this topic is quite important. Let's get started with the first question. A mass M attached to a horizontal massless spring with spring constant K is set into simple harmonic motion. Its maximum displacement from its equilibrium position is A. What is the mass's speed as it passes through its equilibrium position? So here it is given there. This is the equilibrium positions, and with respect to that, it got maximum displaced by the given distance, that is equal to A. And here the velocity at the mean position, that is given as v. Finally, they are asking what is the mass's speed as it passes through its equilibrium position. So at the equilibrium position, we can consider x equal to 0, which means at the mean position x equal to a. That's the maximum displacement. Now here we can apply the conservation of energy with respect to its mean positions and at the extreme position when x equal to a. So we can say that according to conservation of energy, kinetic energy at the mean position when x equal to 0, that will be equal to spring potential energy, or you can say the elastic potential energy when x equal to a. So at the extreme position, the block will comes to rest. So here we will be considering that velocity equal to 0, and at the mean position, since there is no displacement or no deformations of the spring, so we'll be considering that spring potential energy will be 0. From there we can say the kinetic energy, that is equal to half into mass of the object times velocity square, that is equal to half into k, that's the spring constant, times by the displacement, that is equal to a, so it's a squared. We have to find out the value of v. So from there we can say v squared equal to k upon m into a squared, which means v equal to square root of k upon m into a, which means the option is B. Here it is given a pendulum bob of mass m on a cord of length L is pulled sideways until the cord makes an angle theta with the vertical as shown in the figure to the right. The change in the potential energy of the bob during the displacement is. So here are the options we have. So let's draw the diagram. So here this is the diagram is given. Let's consider the mass of the bob, that is equal to m, and here it is given the length of the pendulum bob, that is equal to L, which means this length, it is represented by L. Here also we can consider the length of the string, that is considered as L. Now we have to find out how much is the change in the potential energy of the bob during the displacement. Here it is making an angle theta. So what we can do is we have to find out that how much it got vertically displaced. So this height h we have to find out, since we know that potential energy, that is equal to m into g into h. If we can compute this height h, then it will be representing that how much will be getting the change in potential energy. So now we have to find out the h. For that we'll be considering this triangle here. Let's say this point is A, this point is B, and this is the point, it is O. Now from the triangle OAB, we can say cosine theta, that is equal to OA upon L, which means OA, that is the adjacent upon hypotenuse, and OA it can be written as it is L cosine theta. Now from here we can write that h, that is nothing but from the point A, let's say the end point here I'm just giving, that is equal to C, h equal to same as AC, and AC can be written as is OC minus OA. OC is given as, that is the total length of the string, minus OA that we have computed just, that is L cosine theta. Now if we simplify this, we'll be getting L into 1 minus cosine theta. Now we'll be going to substitute this in these expressions of change in potential energy, that is m into g into h, mass of the bob, that is m into g into h. H means it is L into 1 minus cosine theta. So here it is mgl 1 minus cosine theta, the option, that is A. So here in the problem is given that a block oscillates without frictions on the end of a spring as shown. The minimum and maximum lengths of the spring as it oscillates are respectively x speed and x max. So here this is the main positions. With respect to the main position, x maximum displacement and minimum displacement of the spring, it's given here. The graph below can represent the quantities associated with the oscillations as functions of the length x of the spring. Which graph can represent the total mechanical energy of the block spring system as a function of x? Total mechanical energy. Total mechanical energy is the summation of kinetic energy and the elastic potential energy of the spring. So we can say the spring potential energy. Since the total mechanical energy is always conserved, so it doesn't depend on, it doesn't vary with respect to the time or with respect to the displacement. So from there we can say that D would be representing the, that's the total mechanical energy graph. Now the next one, 17, that which graph can represent the kinetic energy of the block as a functions of x? So we know that at the mean position, or you can say the equilibrium position, the velocity would be maximum. Since the velocity is maximum, we'll be having the kinetic energy also at the mean position, it would be maximum. And at the two extreme position, at x max and x mean positions, the object will come to rest momentarily. So here the velocity v must be 0, which means that its kinetic energy should be 0 at the two extreme position. Now let's analyze the graph. In case of A, the kinetic energy is the energies are given that at the two extreme positions it is maximum. So that means A cannot be the answer. For the D also, it is the graph related to the total mechanical energy, which means the possible answer either it would be B or C. Now let's analyze that B and C, both the options, and both the cases it is the x minimum and x maximum. It's represented that velocity it would be 0 and kinetic energy, corresponding to that the energies it is 0 and it is maximum energy at the main position. But the thing is, we know that in case of the spring, force that is equal to negative of kx, which means we can say that force that is equal to mass time accelerations from the Newton's second laws of motions, and that is equal to negative of kx, which means we can say the acceleration that is proportional to the negative of x. With respect to the displacement from the mean position, how much it got displaced, its acceleration is going to increase. So now acceleration it is going to increase from the velocity graph. If we can find out, if we can draw the tangent, let's say at this position, and 2 point I'm considering, 1 point which is nearby positions of the mean locations, and the second point I'm considering nearby locations of the extreme position. So here at these two position, if you draw the tangent, then it is quite obvious that at this position the tangent, and at the two position the tangent, the second tangent it is more steeper than the first one. Since the tangent are becoming steeper, we know that gradient of the velocity time graph it will be representing the acceleration, which means with respect to the mean positions we can define that at the two position acceleration it is higher as comparison to the one position. So from there we can conclude that the answer, kinetic energy graph, it would be represented by, here it is C. A block of mass 3 kg is hung from a spring, causing it to stretch 12 cm at equilibrium conditions as shown. So here the mass is 3 kg, which is in hang conditions, and 12 centimeter, that is the stretched. From there we can define the what is the spring constant. The spring constant K, that is equal to force applied, that is mg, upon displacement, that is 12 centimeter. So it is x. Mg you can write, it is 3 times 10 upon g. X is 12 centimeter, that is 0.12. If you solve this, you will be getting 250 Newton per meter, that is a spring constant. Now the 3 kg block is then replaced by a 4 kg block, and the new block is released from the position shown at which the spring is unstretched. How far will the 4 kg block will fall before its directions is reversed? To find out the how far the 4 kg block will fall, in that case we can apply the conservation of energy. Conservation of energy. So here let's consider the block will be coming to this position, and in that case it will be getting stretched by a distance that is equal to h. So here this is our first position, and when it is got stretched fully, it will be the second position. So in between first and the second positions we can define the conservation of energy. So at the first positions we can say the block, it is at height h, which means that potential energy at the point 1, and at this position it is in free length condition, that means there will be no spring potential energy. Here the potential energy, that's representing the gravitational potential energy at the point 1, that is equal to when the spring got stretched by a distance, that is h. So in that case we can consider this is our reference position, which means that h equal to 0, which means there will be no gravitational potential energy at the second point, but it will be having the spring potential energy at the second position. And at both the position, the kinetic energy, it would be 0, because this is the like free length conditions, and from here it is got fully stretched. So here also the velocity, it would be 0. From there we can say kinetic energy equal to 0. Now the gravitational potential energy expression, that is m into g into h. Spring potential energy, that is half into k into h square. Presently x means it's the elongation, that is same as h. So from there this h and h is eliminated. We have to find out the value of h from here, that is equal to 2 mg upon k, where 2 times mass is given as 4 kg times by 10 upon k is 250. If we solve this, we'll be getting 32 centimeter, which means the answer is C. In this problem, it's given that what is the kinetic energy of a satellite of mass m that orbits the earth of mass m in a circular orbit of radius r. So let's consider this is representing the earth whose mass is m, and one satellite which is revolving around the earth, and the radius of the orbit is given that big R, and the mass of the satellite, it is given that small m. So the satellite is located here. So here what we have to find out, the kinetic energy of the satellite. If we are going to consider the tangential speed of the satellite, that is equal to v, so kinetic energy of the satellite, it becomes half into m into v square. Now v represents the tangential speed, or you can say the orbital speed of the satellite. To find out this tangential speed, we have to apply the Newton's laws of gravitations concept. So according to this Newton's laws of gravitations, we can say that since this earth and the satellite both are having the masses, so there will be a force of attractions, and that is known as the gravitational force. And this gravitational force, it is going to provide the centripetal force, sufficient amount of centripetal force, so that the satellite, it can revolve around the earth, which means the gravitational force is going to provide the centripetal force. We can say Fg, that stands for the gravitational force. It supplies the centripetal force, that is Fc. Expressions of gravitational force, that is G times by mass of the earth times by mass of the satellite upon r squared, where r is represents the radius of the orbit. and the centripetal force expression, mass of the satellite times by the tangential velocity, that is represented by v, so v square upon r. From there this expressions of 1r here will be eliminated, so expressions of v square, that is equal to gm upon r. Now if you substitute in these expressions, instead of v square, that is gm upon r, which means we are getting gmm upon 2r. That's the expressions of the kinetic energy of the satellite, which is the option is A. So here it is given that a rock of mass m is thrown horizontally of a building from a height h as shown above. This is the height of the building, which is represented by h. Mass of the rock is m and it has been thrown horizontally with velocity v0. The speed of the rock as it leaves the thrower hand at the edge of the building is v0. What is the kinetic energy of the rock just before it hits the ground? That means it is going to follow the projectile motion and it is going to follow this parabolic path, and after that it is going to strike the ground with certain velocity v, and corresponding to that we have to find out what is the kinetic energy of the rock just before it hits the ground. So here the first tendency, this is a kind of a quite interesting problem. So the first tendency of the student, it would be that they will be trying to find out what would be the final velocity at this point by considering that it's a projectile motion, so there will be no accelerations in the horizontal direction. So from there we'll be saying that it's a final velocity along the horizontal directions at the point of striking the ground. It would be same as initial velocity, and vertical speed they will be trying to find out by using the motions equations and all, and after that finding the trying to find out the resultant, that would be giving the final velocity, and then from there the kinetic energy can be computed. But the thing is, since it is just going to strike the ground, which means its height is equal to 0. Height is equal to 0 means there will be no gravitational potential energy, which means the total energy at this point, let's consider this is a point 2 and this is a point 1 where from the object has been thrown. The total energy at the point 2, it is represented by only the kinetic energy, and we know that total energy is always conserved, which means we can say the total energy at the point 1, that is equal to the total energy at the point 2. Now the total energy at the point 2, that will be only represented by the kinetic energy, since the potential energy it is 0 as h is equal to 0. That means the kinetic energy at the point 2, it can be represented by the total energy at the point 1. Now what will be the total energy at the point 1? It is having the total energy is the summation of kinetic energy and gravitational potential energy at the point 1. Now the kinetic energy at the point 1, that is half into m into v naught square, and gravitational potential energy at the point 1, that is m into g into h. So that represents the kinetic energy at the point 2 just before striking the ground. So that means the options it would be D. A system consists of two objects having masses m1 and m2. m1 is less than m2. The objects are connected by a massless string hung over a pulley as shown and then released. When the objects of mass m2 has descended a distance h, the potential energy of the system has decreased by m2 is the higher mass than m1, due to which the m2 is going to come down by a distance that is equal to h. Similarly, the m1 is going to ascend a distance that is same distance, that is h. Since it is going to come down, so there will be a change in potential energy for the m2, that is m2 into g into h, or we can say this is a loss in potential energy. And in case of m1, since it's going up, so there will be a gain in potential energy for m1. Gain in potential energy for m1 that can be represented by delta PE1. It is m1 g h, and this one is considered as the loss and this is considered as the gain. Now we have to find out the potential energy of the system has decreased by. So from there we can say the change in the potential energy, the total change in the potential energy, that is equal to delta PE2 minus delta PE1. So it is M2 GH minus M1 GH. That will be representing that M2 minus M1 GH. And because of this delta P2, it is the loss. So the loss, it will be higher than the gain. That means overall it is being considered as the loss, and the loss in kinetic and potential energy, that is being converted into the kinetic energy due to its motion. An object is dropped from rest from a certain height. Air resistance is negligible. After falling a distance d, the object's kinetic energy is proportional to which of the following? So let's consider this is an object. Initial velocity of the object, it is given as 0 since it started from rest. It's falling a certain height. When the object it has reached there and the height it got traveled, that is equal to d. So at this position its velocity we can consider that is v, and air resistance is negligible. We have to find out the object's kinetic energy is proportional to which of the following. So once in between the position 1 and the position 2, we can apply the conservation of energy. So according to that conservation of energy, the total mechanical energy that is conserved. So here we can say the total energy at the point 1, that is equal to the total energy at the point 2. If we are going to consider the reference position is this one, from here we can say the h equal to 0, and total energy at the position 1, since its velocity is 0, kinetic energy it would be also 0, which will be only having the gravitational potential energy at the position 1, that is equal to its h equal to 0 at the position 2, which means the gravitational potential energy at the position 2 it would be 0. It is only having the kinetic energy at the position 2. Now the gravitational potential energy at the position 1, that can be written as m into g into d, and kinetic energy at the position 2, so that is we can keep it as it is because they are asking that kinetic energy is proportional to which of the following. So m and g both are constant. From there directly we can say the mg, which is proportional to d. That means the option is D. A block of mass m on a horizontal surface is connected to the end of a massless spring of a spring constant k. The block is pulled a distance x from the equilibrium, and when released from rest, the block moves towards equilibrium. What coefficient of kinetic frictions between the surface and the block would allow the block to return to the equilibrium and stop? That means according to the given statement, this position it will be considering as the equilibrium positions where x is equal to 0. From here it got stretched by a distance that is equal to x. Here the velocity also 0, it is the extreme position, and according to the given statement there is a frictions in between the surface and the object, and due to these frictions the block, whenever it return to the equilibrium position, it is getting stopped, which means velocity it is equal to 0 at the mean position as well. So here we can say that in between the point 1 and the point 2 we can apply the conservation of energy. So here we can say that at the position 1, due to the elongation of the spring, it will be having the certain amount of potential energy, and that is getting lost due to the work done due to friction. Work done due to frictions, it is getting lost, and due to which whenever it comes back to the initial or equilibrium position, it is velocity is 0, which means the kinetic energy is also 0, and since there is no displacement, there will be no spring potential energy. So from there we can say at the position 2 it's having the spring potential energy that should be equal to the work done due to friction. Work done due to friction, that we can say the frictional force times by the displacement, and the displacement is same as the x. Frictional force we can just write it down as this is the weight of the object, that is mg, upward directions the normal force exerted, and let's consider the coefficient of kinetic friction, that is equal to mu k. That means mu k times normal reactions, that's represent the frictional force, times by the displacement x. So from there we can say the coefficient of kinetic frictions times by the normal reactions equal to weight of the object, that is m into g, times by x. And spring potential energy, that is the spring stiffness is given as, that is x, and it got stretched by a distance x. So from there we can say the spring potential energy, it is equal to half k x square. If we simplify this, that x and 1x eliminated from here, and mu k, it becomes k times x upon twice into m into g. So let's analyze the options. Kx by twice into m into g, the option C.